Well, if you're here, then you're probably curious what sort of mixture and melange I came up with for Onyx Prime. He is, of course, conspicuous by his absence in my lineup of the original 13. And while I've had some ideas for him, the Fossilizer spoke to me somewhat, somehow, some way, saying there might be an Onyx Prime in there. Did it work? Is it going to be okay? Will it be a fine stand-in? Well, we're about to find out in the latest GotBot True review. Hey one, hey all, welcome back to the channel. I'm your host, your most humble of hosts, Dennis Moulton, aka GotBot. As always, man, please like, comment, share, of course, subscribe, and while you're at it, light them up, baby. And hit that notification bell. It helps me out a ton. It lets you know when content of all sorts goes up here on the channel. Check out Machinery of Man, The Everything Factor, all the groups that I'm either a mod or an admin for, as well as all of my social media links in the description down below. If you're in a position to help the channel to grow, and also in the description down below, you can use the donate link, check us out on Patreon, see what we offer to you through Teespring, or of course, hit the join button right here on YouTube to become a channel member. So there have been a lot of ideas for Onyx Prime, and there's a lot of elements there that you have to consider. His kind of, what is it, Minotaur, is that what it's called? The horse body with 4 legs, right? And then he has wings, and then he has arms, and then he has like a robot torso with a head, right? So there's a lot of elements. And while several people have spoken to Transformers Prime Predaking as an option, while I agree with that, I kind of also don't agree with it, because Transformers Prime Predaking has a very unique look all his own, and it's not Onyx Prime, though there is something that harkens to that. Furthermore, he only has 2 legs. Onyx Prime has 4 legs. So I looked at all the fossilizers, and I felt like there's something, some way, somehow, that all of these beasts could be customized together to give us a version of Onyx Prime. How successful is it? Well, I'll let you guys be the judge. Herein, in this very unique review, obviously we won't be talking about transformations so much, and the look is going to be rough because we have several different color schemes coming together. So there are things that we have to allot for. I'm going to show you 3 iterations. The first is with every single part of all 5 of the fossilizers that I have used. It is an unholy abomination, to say the very least, but I thought it was interesting enough that I wanted to show it off. Then I take off some of the extraneous parts, like some of those parts are used for accessories, we'll say, and I kind of show that bare bones. And then I will show what I'm kind of settled on for now as my version of Onyx Prime, and talk a little bit about how well it does or does not fit in with the rest of the team, and we will see the entire team. As a matter of fact, we're going to see 15 members. I'll explain that when we get to it. So without any further ado, how about we head over to the table and take a closer look at Onyx Prime. Okay. So this is, I had to show this, and I did show it on GotBot Goes Live, but this is the first iteration of an idea for Onyx Prime. I have, as everybody knows, been working on the 13, as I mentioned, and this is the first iteration of Onyx Prime using the fossilizers. Now, to be fair, this uses every single part of all 5 fossilizers. If you saw my review of Tricranius, then you know that I said then, I feel like I see an Onyx Prime in here. Like, I feel like there could be. I feel like him being the prime of the beast, like, I could see it. And this is what I came up with using every single bit of all 5. I'm not gonna lie. Transmutate is awful to try and fit in here. Really not conducive. And what did I do? Because this is, like, some people called it an unholy hodgepodge of an amalgamation that makes no sense. First things first, there are a number of different color schemes here, and because it's not unified, that naturally hurts the look of it. But we do have a lot of, like, neat elements in here, and a lot of elements of Onyx Prime. So what do we have? Well, we have the 2 wings. First and foremost, we have the 2 wings using the, I'll say, wing pieces of Wing Finger, and then we've added on other bits and pieces here, most notably from the legs of, who is that? Ractonite here and Paleotrex here. the issue with the wings is they do get weighed down with the weight, and while there's two ways to connect them, right now they're only connected one way. I do like using the head of Tricranius and using the, I'll say, the back of the head of Wingfinger. That is the combiner mode head that was pointed out during one of the live streams some time ago. I like having that in there. I like this fringe around it. I love how that looks. I also like the back of the body and the main body being the coloration and whatnot that is Tricranius. Things like this whole section I'm holding on to here, or like these sections on the side, I did just to bulk it up because, hey, why not? I could do it. I used one of the heads, namely the dinosaur head of Ractonite, as an arm shield over here. And I used the body of Ractonite along with, I think part of the body of, no, the body of Ractonite along with the head of Paleotrex and the head of Wingfinger to make a whip flail. So that's a whip and a shield. So those are accessories that kind of only add to the confusion here. So I'm going to take those accessories off just so we can see the main guy a little bit better. So of course this is my shield, not a really effective shield with these big eye holes, but all we did was use the peg back here, and the kind of whip flail is probably a little bit easier to see this way with the body of Ractonite used. We used the peg that's in his head. That's what's used as the handle, right? So I mean, and it is, you know, I mean, it's a flail, right? So it was an idea. It was, you know, and that's gone way out of focus. It's an idea. I mean, is it a successful idea? Probably not, but I just wanted to try using all the parts. So a little more bare bones, and I did take a few things off. Here we have him a little bit more bare bones. You can see the wings sticking off on the side. He has an arm over here and an arm over here. He has two front legs and he has two hind legs. And I did add some pieces here to kind of try and bulk up the body a little bit. How big is he? Well, I mean, here he is, for example, next to later class Galvatron, right? So he's actually a fair size. Bit odd looking, but a fair size. So I would call this my second iteration of the guy. So it's been a process of exploring. The third iteration is kind of the one where I don't know, what's the word I'm looking for? I sort of settled on, right? The third iteration is the one that I sort of settled on. I have to do a few things to change it here, but I'll show you the one that I kind of settled on, at least for now. Is it successful? Well, I'll let you be the judge when we get there. Okay, so I thought it would be important to kind of show what was left over. So I didn't use this piece of Ractonite or this head. I didn't use this head or this piece of Ractonite. I didn't use this body piece of Transmutate or this mask piece, largely because it has a Predacon symbol on it. Didn't use this head or this body piece of Paleotrex or these, though admittedly these could probably be used as melee things. The head of Transmutate, one of the legs of Ractonite, the tail of Ractonite, the head of Paleotrex for robot mode. This piece again could be used as a melee something or other. And both of the lower legs of Transmutate. So what did I use? What does it look like? Well, my third iteration, and the one I'm currently going to be using, though I do have other ideas in mind because I don't think this quite worked as well as I'd hoped, but the iteration I'm using for Onyx Prime for now is this. Oh buddy, this is what I'm going to use for now. So we do have a wing with the various pieces off of it, same on the other side, a la the Covenant of Primus. I'd like to put more on the wings, but again, I don't want to weigh them down too much. And they do look, spiky and pieces, and there's holes in it, so this kind of makes sense. Though there should be more to it, admittedly. Like I said, I don't want to weigh them down. We do have a head, and the head can move left and right and up and down. We do have arms, and they can like butterfly back and forth and move all the way up. And we have a super deep elbow, and we have a bicep swivel, and we have a wrist swivel, and the hands open and close, and the wrists move back and forth. We don't have a waist because of the way that it's attached, though we do have a wiggle down here. These legs here, they can move forward and back and out to the side a bit. And we have our ankle tilt, and we have full knee and a thigh swivel because of where it connects right here. And then we do have a waist kind of back here where it attaches. The tail moves up and down. And then the back legs work just like they do on Ractinite or Tricranius. So we have, here's the thing, like it's so hard to do Onyx Prime because he has 4 legs, not 2. He has wings, and he has 2 arms, and of course he has a robot mode head. So like there's a lot here. I think this would be more successful if it was all one color. Is the upper body too big? Yeah, arguably. Like I said, is this a hodgepodge? Is this a mess? Did this work out the way I wanted it to? No, it didn't. However, considering we have no Onyx Prime at all, the closest we have is the Bat Onyx Primal, who's a different character. I tried something, you know? Some people have said use the Transformers Prime Predaking. Nice idea, except that looks iconically like Predaking. And even if you did use it, how would you account for the extra 2 legs? This was an idea. I'm glad I tried it, and it's something that'll serve me for now. But is this the last idea that I have? No. Was this the first idea I had? No. It was just something to try, and I know I had spoke about it with you guys before, so I thought I would throw it out there and see kind of how it might work. How does this look? How does this version of my own personal Onyx Prime work with the rest of the original 13? Well, kind of like this. You know what? Maybe he sticks in and fits in after all. In the back we have the last Autobot via the Ark. Sometimes he takes the place of, say, Optimus Prime. You know, sometimes he's like the 13th Prime. Then we have my custom Nexus Prime over there, one of his shoulder blasters. That's kind of on a squish. Then starting on this side over here, we have my custom Liege Maximo from the Studio Series B-Movie Thrust. We have Optimus, who is usually the 13th. At least if you follow the Covenant. Behind him we have a customized Fallen into Amalgamus Prime. Up front here next to Optimus we have my custom Quintus from the, I guess, Quintesson Invasion Cyberverse mold. Along with the arms of one of the Combiner Wars lads. Then we have the BAF of McAdam, who is Alchemist Prime. Next to McAdam, kind of between McAdam and Quintus, we have the tiny Micronus. He was a Micro Master, Titan Master, whatever. It made sense. Behind Micronus is where we have my Hodgepodge Onyx Prime. Size-wise, he certainly fits in as like a Voyager-esque size. Behind Onyx Prime, you can probably see peeking out a little bit of Alpha Trion. Next to Alpha Trion is the... who is it? Make Toys version of the Fallen. In front of the Fallen we have MMC, Salvia Promenon, or Solus Prime. Then next to Solus Prime we have Prima via the Optimus Prime proto-form from the 07 film. It has since been retconned as a version of Prima. Next to Prima, we actually have Logos Prime via the Sound Blaster for War for Cybertron. Yes, it's not the right Sound Blaster body, I know, but it's fine enough for a Logos Prime. And behind Logos Prime, the other Prime tied to time, Vector Prime. So some of these are official, some of them are customs, some of them work a bit better than others. But finally, at least today, as of today, while some will certainly eventually get upgraded and hopefully improved, this hodgepodge is the original 13. As a matter of fact, we have 2 extras via Logos and the last Autobot. At least if we follow the Covenant, we have 2 extras via Logos and the last Autobot. That gives us 15. I feel somewhat, I don't want to say proud. I feel somewhat vindicated for the hard work that's gone into trying to amass a version of these guys. Would I like a potentially better version for Liege Maximo? Yeah, I'd like an actual Liege Maximo. And while some of the Seeker bodies would work well for it, honestly, I didn't want a Seeker that looked like all the other Seekers. You know, Optimus is questionable. I think the Quintus is pretty good. I'd like a proper Amalgamus. I would like a proper Onyx. The rest of them I think are pretty respectable for at least my needs. So, is it a success? Questionable, debatable. I don't feel like it's as successful as I wanted it to be. Will it do the trick for now? Yeah, it'll do the trick for now. In terms of grades, marks, scores, I mean, there's no transformation for it really, or it's everything transformed into it. The articulation, it's about an 8, I guess. It can do some pretty dynamic poses, but it's not perfect. And in terms of the look, it would all have to be one color to make me happy. Anyway, for now, I'll live with it. And here we are once again, and here he is. Like, this is rough. Did this work out the way I originally anticipated? No, it didn't. It's kind of like I go back to building blocks and like things like Legos and stuff, like when I was a little kid and I used to want to build things and I'd want to use every piece that I got in a box or in a pack or whatever, right? I didn't want anything left over. Well, that's what I tried to do the first time around, and that's why he had a shield and this like whip flail thing. I thought it was some cool ideas there, but there's a lot going on with this guy, and I tried to bulk up his body by putting so much on there. Even with the extraneous bits taken off, it was still pretty bulky. Then we get to this guy. So I feel like the main body is okay. I even feel like most of the body going up here is okay. The one part of this version that really stands out to me as not as effective as I would like is I feel like the head sits too high because of this piece, but I don't think I have another piece left that could really fill the bill to go here so that the head can sit on it. And I do like the look of this head. I wish the color scheme was a little more uniform, and if it was more uniform, maybe this would look a little bit better. Will it suffice for now? Yes. Is it my like be-all, end-all for Onyx Prime? I doubt it. I feel like I'm going to try some of my other ideas that I have. If I ever do an extra evolution of this, I will certainly let you guys know. Let you guys know. For now, right? For now, it will suffice. And that's about as good as it gets. Let me know what you would do for an Onyx Prime other than Transformers Prime Predaking by himself. That's not going to happen. I see Prime Predaking and I think that's Prime Predaking. It's not Onyx Prime. Just saying. So what other ideas do you guys have? Because I know you guys have thinking caps and I know you guys can be absolutely brilliant. I appreciate you guys coming by. Give me some of your very valuable time. I do know how important it is to you. If you're in a position to help the channel to grow, you can use the donate link. Check us out on Patreon. See what we offer to you through Teespring, or of course hit the join button right here on YouTube to become a channel member. Don't forget to also hit the subscribe button, and that somehow, some way, each and every single day, you right there, you do make a huge difference. And I look forward to the next time that you and I get together to have another visit, either in the live streams on Thursday nights at the stop motion premieres, or the old fashioned way, baby, right here inside the videos.